Real Madrid have joined the Premier League. Imagine waking up to this breaking news. Chaos. Pure chaos. The football world would lose its mind. England's biggest clubs, United, City, Arsenal, Liverpool, would suddenly be staring at the kings of Europe, not from across the continent, but across the table. But here's the real question. Would Real Madrid actually dominate in England like they do in Spain? Or would the Premier League humble them the way it's humbled so many great teams before? Let's be honest, Real Madrid are football royalty, 14 Champions League trophies, decades of dominance. Their aura alone could sell out any stadium in England. But the Premier League is not La Liga. It's not about elegance, it's about endurance. It's not about ball control, it's about body control. The pace, the weather, the travel, the sheer intensity, it's a different kind of beast. Now imagine Real Madrid rolling into a cold Tuesday night at Turf Moor or a windswept away day at Bramall Lane. Vinicius Jr. trying to beat a fullback who's played 90 minutes on a rain-soaked pitch that feels like sandpaper. Bellingham getting crunched by a midfielder who earns in a year what he makes in a week. The Premier League doesn't care about your reputation. It just asks, can you handle this tempo every 3 days? Because that's the thing. The Premier League eats up silky footballers and spits them out tired. It's a league where Bournemouth press you like you're in a Champions League semi-final, and Luton Town make every throw-in a wrestling match. La Liga games are more tactical and patient. Premier League matches are chaos disguised as entertainment. Real Madrid would still have moments of brilliance. Of course they would. When you've got players like Bellingham, Vinicius, Rodrigo, and Modric, you're going to cook. They'd outclass some teams purely by talent. But over a 38-game stretch? Different story. The Premier League punishes dips in intensity. Even Manchester City, with Guardiola's precision machine, get pushed to their limits by mid-table sides. And here's another factor: depth. Real Madrid's bench looks elite in Spain, but the Premier League demands squads that can survive injuries, fixture congestion, and FA Cup replays in December. Their midfield trio might dominate Europe, but try doing that 3 times a week with Everton away, sandwiched between Newcastle and Wolves. Suddenly, those rotations start to matter. Also, physicality. The Premier League is relentless. Center-backs like Cristiano Romero, Van Dijk, or Saliba don't just defend, they bully you. Referees let more contact slide. The game is faster, rougher, and less forgiving. That means Real's technical grace might not shine as brightly when they're being closed down in 2 seconds flat. Think about teams like Liverpool and Arsenal. They run more, press harder, and play faster than almost anyone in Spain. Last season, Liverpool averaged around 116 kilometers covered per game. Real Madrid averaged closer to 108. That's nearly 8 kilometers less every single match. Over 38 games, that's like running 300 kilometers less in a season. It's no wonder Premier League clubs look like they've been in a war by April. And don't even start on fixture congestion. England doesn't have a winter break, so while Real Madrid are relaxing in Marbella in January, Premier League players are battling through ice-cold matches on Boxing Day and New Year's Eve. If Real joined, they'd lose that luxury. Fatigue would hit them like a truck. Now, some people would argue, but Madrid always step up in big games, they'd rise to the challenge. True, in knockout tournaments, they're masters of survival, but the Premier League isn't a sprint, it's a marathon with hurdles. It's not about one night in Paris, it's about grinding out a 1-0 at Crystal Palace when your legs feel like lead. Look at how Spanish giants have struggled in England historically. Barcelona got battered by Liverpool at Anfield. Sevilla, Villarreal, Atletico, none of them have consistently dominated English clubs away from home. Even Pep Guardiola needed years to adapt his style. And this is Pep, the guy who turns possession into science. At the same time, it's not like Madrid would fall apart. They'd adapt eventually. Ancelotti's no fool, he's managed in England before. They'd learn to play quicker, press harder, rotate smarter. But those first few seasons? Painful. You'd see injuries pile up. You'd see narrow wins turn into frustrating draws. You'd see their confidence wobble when Brentford's long throws start flying into the box. If you're loving this kind of what-if football talk, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more wild hypotheticals that make you rethink the game. Now, back to the chaos. Let's talk results. If Real Madrid joined the Premier League tomorrow, they'd probably still finish top 4. They're too talented not to. But champions? That's harder. Against the likes of City and Liverpool, who've mastered the art of grinding results week after week, Madrid would be in unfamiliar territory. You can't win the league just by turning it on for the big games. You need to be ruthless in February when you're playing West Ham and your top scorer hasn't found the net in 3 weeks. And remember, no referees protecting your ankles like in Spain. The Premier League's physicality would test even their stars. Vinicius would still dance past defenders, but he'd get clattered twice before halftime. Bellingham, as good as he is, would face midfield battles that feel more like boxing matches. And Kroos or Modric. They'd be geniuses still, but imagine them trying to dictate tempo when pressed by three midfielders who just sprinted 50 meters to close them down. There's also the weather. It sounds trivial, but it's not. Spain's pitches are dry and smooth. England's are slick, heavy, sometimes borderline frozen. Passing rhythms change, touches bounce. Even Real's tiki-taka moments might get lost in puddles at Molineux in December. Then there's mentality. Real Madrid have built their empire on superiority. They walk into stadiums knowing teams already fear them. But in England, that aura fades. Premier League fans don't care who you are. They'll sing louder, they'll boo harder. You'll feel it from the moment you walk through the tunnel. Ask Messi and Neymar what it's like to get chased down by defenders who don't even blink at your reputation. Would Real Madrid still attract stars? Absolutely. Their brand, their money, their prestige, it's unmatched. But England's football ecosystem levels the playing field. Every team gets TV money. Every fan base is rabid. You can't just buy your way through the league. You have to suffer for it. Let's picture the table. Maybe City and Madrid trade blows at the top. Arsenal and Liverpool lurk close. Newcastle and Tottenham fight tooth and nail. Suddenly, Madrid's usual 10-point cushion in La Liga becomes a three-way race. Every week matters. Every mistake costs. Every point feels like gold dust. Could they adapt? Sure. Eventually, Madrid would evolve. They'd bulk up their squad, sign players suited for English intensity, and tweak their style. Maybe by year 3, they'd be right up there challenging. But that first season, that would be their welcome to the Premier League slap. The same one that humbled Guardiola, Mourinho, and every other genius who thought tactics alone could conquer England. The Premier League doesn't just test football, it tests spirit. And while Real Madrid's history proves they've got plenty of that, the question isn't whether they're good, it's whether they could handle 38 rounds of chaos, sweat, and rain-soaked tackles from teams that don't fear the crown. So, would they dominate the Premier League like they dominate Spain? Probably not. Would they survive? Absolutely. But thrive instantly? Unlikely. In England, even kings have to bleed before they rule, and maybe, just maybe, that's what makes the Premier League so special. You can have all the trophies, all the stars, all the history, but on a freezing night in Stoke, none of that matters. Only grit does. So, what do you think? Could Real Madrid handle the Premier League storm, or would the league chew them up and spit them out? Drop your predictions in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more football what-ifs that keep the debate alive every single week.